right, good evening, everybody. I hope everybody is having a good day. Welcome, Jordan. Welcome, Curd Bros. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it. Tonight's going to be a little bit of a different stream. We may actually get to a little gameplay. I did want to take a fair amount of time and just kind of go through what I've done as far as planning. Once it is complete and I've kind of cleaned up the spreadsheet that you'll see, I will probably post a link in the description of this video and put it in my community feed as well so people can use it. I just have to get everything set up. Didn't have time to finalize everything on it before the stream started. I was working on it up until about 6:29 and I went live at 6:30. So yeah, still got some work to do, but hey, Matthew, how's it going? Before we get into MCOC, Matthew, you're looking forward to the in about 20 days. Have you taken advantage of any of the pre-patch activities or pre-upgrade activities? Let's see, Jordan, how do you guys do raids? Is it one group of 3 per path? Yeah, it's one group of 3 per each individual cluster. So if I go over here, let me go into it. So the way we do it, we assign one of each role to each path. So there's 9 assignments and 1 floater. The floater goes to whichever group is running behind. So you can have, you have to really clear all 3 paths, at least the first fight, to clear the boss, or you get a degen on you. Holy moly, from 60 to 70 in about an hour? You'll have to give me your secret there, Matthew. But there we are. So, it is, pretty clear, laid out fairly well. It does really take 9 people. 10, you have to make sure that 10th person at least does a little bit of damage and gets some points, or they miss out on the raid rewards. Yeah, the strategy for 4 Loki is hey, Legacy, how's it going? We do just straight assignments. I'm assigned as the whatever that role is. I can never remember what these stupid roles are and all that. So I do the crit crusher and I bring in the assault champion. That's the one I'm thinking of. We have B Manny in our battle group. We were at the boss after 2 hours after it started, and I had maybe done 3 or 4 fights. So yeah, he's fast. Ooh, my chat is not in the right spot on the mainstream. That's ugly. Let's fix that. That is just, ooh, I can't do it that way. Let's do it this way. That'll be close enough. I can't quite get it all in the box. I'll have to play with that later. I'll have to change the height of it and all that, because it's going to look ugly. So you know what I'm going to do? Let's hop over here. All right, well, you can kind of see the spreadsheet. I'm going to hide it for right now. That is the sheet that I have been working on. We'll hide it for this second. So, it is, I like raids. We're done pretty quick. We actually were a little slow this time. We didn't kill the boss until about 4 hours ago, and that's only because we had one guy missing from the left-hand side here, and they couldn't bring their Medusa boss down quick enough for us. So, and then, the other nice thing is Yusafa's over on this side, and between B Manny and Yusafa, they just kind of roll through, and the rest of us just tag along. But other than that, really the main point of this stream tonight is going to be going over the Crucible. And I'm going to bring this up. I'm probably going to have to zoom in because it's going to be small. There is a lot of information on there. And I'm actually going to look at it on stream here because I've not had a chance to do that yet, to see how it looks. Yeah, you're going to have to make this as big as you can make it, I think. And I'm going to have to do some zooming in, I think, because it's going to be tough to see all this. What I'm probably going to do is zoom it into just the boss, the nodes, and who I'm bringing. Yeah, we do all 3 map. How do you have enough revives to complete a lane? Maybe it's because one of our guys is in. You should be able to buy 7 right at the beginning. It's like, for example, I still have, I think, 2 revives left. 3 revives left. So I'll buy this 7 again on Thursday when they renew in the store. That'll carry me 7 over to the next time. So I start with 7, can buy 7 on Monday, and then 7 more on Thursday. Let's see how we can make this bigger. There we go. We can at least get 2 options that way. Does that make it look a little clearer on the stream as well? This may not work out too well. Yeah, that'll work. That'll get the first 2 options. We can scroll back and forth as needed on there. All right. So we've got that set. And let's see, how can I just want to, if I do that, does that change it on the stream? Sorry, I'm using this time that I should have done this kind of off stream. Yep, that works. Okay, so that's how we'll do it. Like I said, I was working on this right up to the last minute. As you can see on this spreadsheet, I have the boss, I have what nodes they're going to have, and then I've got 4 options. So I've gone through, I've picked who I'm going to use. I've made sure that I'm only using a champ 1 time for all the fights. And I've got 7, the first path and the second path done. Took a while. Let's see. Quest revives work as well. 14, you're going to, and Matthew, you're going to level cap your 12th. Holy moly. Okay, I'm going to have to try and see how fast I can grind out a couple, I think. I use a raid revive on the easier bosses and go with like 20% health, but I have a majority of... Yeah, you just have to make sure you're picking the right boosts. Those go a long way, and using the right champs. I've played around with a couple different options, like Rintra with the debuff boost doesn't really work. Crit Crusher seems to work the best for Assault. For Tactician, I use Iron Man and the Armor Up one, and he can do damage without charges and without being boosted at all. He can usually get close to damage cap on it, and that's with an R4 on my free-to-play account. Haven't ever run the whatever the right side is, Tactician. Haven't ever run that, so I don't know who's best. Okay. I love how they said Crucible would be harder than Story, but easier than Necro. It seems pretty darn difficult. Yeah, they're going to increase, it's going to be the same bosses. They're just going to increase the hit points and the attack. And the main thing about this is you've got to go in prepared. You cannot go in without doing something like this. Because even as I was going through it, I ended up finding I had 2 champions assigned to some of the fights. Now, you can use a 7-star and a 6-star version, or a 6 and a 5. Wouldn't recommend the 5-star, but you'll see that I think, have 1 fight in here that I'm using a 5-star on. So, with that said, we're going to jump in and get going on this. And let me close this out. Perfect. So, I'm not going to be really looking too much at the short stream chat. So if you're in the short stream, be prepared. I may not see your message right away. I've got to have the spreadsheet up full screen on my screen so I can see it and we can talk through it. I will be paying attention to the main YouTube stream chat, more or less. All right, so first boss up is going to be Yondu. Super Masochism, Feats of Power, Rich Get Richer, Foresight. Basically, you don't want to parry, you don't want debuffs. Options I came up with for this one: Deathless King Groot, Angela, Hulkling, and Serpent. They have more health and attack, yes. It's going to be fun. You can take your time at it. If you run out of revives, the nice thing is you can just stay there. You can go farm up revives and come back. Not that you can really do much farming on revives, but, you can go get 1 or 2 of them. Yeah, I like how it is, all stuff we've done. This is a great idea and a great concept. I'm glad it's going to be around permanently. because my free-to-play account I don't think is quite ready for this yet. But main thing here on the first fight is just going to be not doing the parry stun. So I'm going to use Deathless King Groot. He's going to be bleed immune for, if I get block a Yondu attack or something like that. And he's chunky enough, I'm going to heal up that I can take all the chip damage in the world. You're going to want Yondu throwing special ones. You're going to want to intercept when you can. If you're using one of these champs that I've got on here, you're going to be gaining power because of Rich Get Richer. It should be an easier time. You can even do special intercepts and things like that to get openings as you need them. But, do recommend somebody that you're comfortable and is beefy enough to take chip damage as you go through it. Then we'll jump forward to the second boss, and these should be in order of the path. I believe this is the same order that they're going to be in. I may be off on one or two. Hey, Lee, how's it going? So don't shoot me if, Hulkbuster becomes before Red Hulk. But I think this is right. So Black Widow, Deadly Origin. She's got bullet time, stun vulnerability, tenacity, and enhanced shock. What you're going to want here is somebody that's she's not going to be able to shrug off the stun debuff. So you're looking at some of your mutant champions that kind of, if she shrugs it, puts on a passive. So you've got, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and I was not going to type that out at all. I'm sorry. You've got Apocalypse, Bishop. Toad, she would shrug off the stun. I don't really recommend him. I just had to come up with a fourth choice. Maybe you could consider Onslaught in there. Sauron. Those are really the only ones I can think of right off the top of my head. There will be, actually, let me do that. Let me go ahead and set that up now. Share. Let's see. Grant access to anyone with a link as a viewer. Copy the link. I will put it in the chat and I will put it in the description of the stream. It may undergo a couple revisions. Let me know if you cannot access that for any reason. It may go under a couple of revisions between now and later tonight. I was working on it up until the very last minute and probably have some cleaning up to do. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put this down in here. And it should be now in the description. Perfect. As long as that works, just make a copy of it for yourself and you can put your own champs in. That's kind of what I expect people to do on this. I don't expect them to try and use who I'm using because I have no clue if who I'm using is going to work. Let me put it one more spot here since I do have two streams running. Makes it double the fun. There we are. That is now in both chats. If you're on the short stream, I do highly recommend going over to the big stream. It's going to be really hard to see the spreadsheet. It's hard for me to see it all. But, and as we're going through this, if you think of other counters, let me know. Let's discuss. I don't want this just being me reading a spreadsheet to you, because if that's the case, I'll just post it. You can read it on your own, and I'll go on with my evening. We'll run some arena and some battlegrounds, and can always do that as well. Actually, let's do something here. Let's do... There we go. We'll do this. I'll let this be up to you. And I'll kind of keep an eye on that, but you can kind of see what I've done here. It's got all the nodes from the actual fights in Act 7. So, like Black Widow Clairvoyant, she's got Footloose, Coolant Leak, Juke, Prey on the Weak, Unblockable specials. You can go in, if you need to know what Coolant Leak is, you can go into Act 7 and read it. I wasn't going to type out everything that was in there. There's no way. So, coming up here, I was looking for counters mainly for Footloose, somebody that had slow, at least easy accessibility to it. Absman, Black Widow Clairvoyant doesn't have access. Whoops, sorry, wrong line. Sandman, Red Guardian, Spider-Gwen, Quicksilver. Those were the ones that I kind of thought of as I was going through it. Where did that go? Hope it didn't close it. There it is. So, those were kind of my options there. And as you can, going down through this, my option 1 is who I'm taking. And like I said, if you have other thoughts, just let me know. We'll jump into Venom, no-hit Mercy buffs, Chitanius Thorns or Chitanius Thorns. I can't say it because the stupid thing's in my mouth right at the moment. Cutting Wires and Foresight. They liked Foresight a lot in Act 7. So get ready to intercept. Here, Absman handles Venom perfectly fine. If you do get hit, he's not going to bleed. Black Widow Clairvoyant would handle it as well. She's bleed immune, so you're not going to have to worry about the thorns, causing a bleed on you. Sim Supreme, this is if they have an armor up, you bleed. Sim Supreme's going to, stagger and nullify all those armors that he would get. Not a big deal there. And of course, Kushala, bleed immune, so. Hey, I don't mind. I just want to make sure this is something you guys want to do. Hey, Lee, thank you for the gifted. And welcome foes to the members. You know what? I think I can turn this on because I think I fixed my sound issues I was having the other day. And I did. I can hear it loud and clear. Holy moly, that scared me. That was a little bit too loud. Let me turn that down some. There we go. Sorry for the Windows ding if you heard that. Okay, the 6th boss up. And keep in mind, 1 champion, 1 fight. Need to definitely be switching them out. They do come in full health, which is nice. So as long as you finish with 1 health. The other thing that you'll notice on this, I did not assign Hercules a single fight at all. I may use him for 1, but I did not assign him for 1. Green Goblin, redlining, power reserve, cramping, debilitate. This one you're going to want some power control. Unless you're very good at Dex and Green Goblin specials. The main thing here is with the redlining, you have to throw a special 2 the second you get it, or it's going to disappear and you're going to get some power damage done to you. So I kind of was looking at it. OG Vision works, I think, for it. It's going to be hard on the special 2s, because you're going to have to be quick. But that's probably who I'm going to try, simply because it'll keep him from throwing specials. It'll keep him heal blocked. Another good option may be Warlock or Magic. I thought maybe Gallon as well, just simply because you're going to want to throw special 1s with Gallon. You're not going to want to really necessarily throw special 2s, and you may be able to do the fight fairly quick. So this one may change. This one may change to Magic. I don't think I do have Magic. So this one may change to Warlock at some point or something like that. Like I said, mine may go through some revisions yet as I think through them. That's going to be, it's like I said, the main issue there is going to be that redlining, which you get increased power gain after a special 1, but as soon as you hit special 2, you need to throw it because if you're at 75% power, it drains you. So, maybe that's where I throw in Herc, and just kind of Herc it out. Next fight up, 6th fight on the path is going to be Rhino, Tantrum, Power Shield, Bubble Shield, Matador. So big specials, only going to be able to get specials after Rhino throws specials. So, main thing there is, to me, is the Bubble Shield. Keep him above a bar of power. Try to just keep rotating him so he's throwing special 1s. That's going to get your power, and you're going to be able to throw things quick. Kind of a good fight for Nick Fury. You've got the 2nd life there to deal with. He's going to, handle everything that's on it. If you do get hit because of Bubble Shield, you've got a 2nd life to fall back on, and really I couldn't think of any other fight on the path that was much better suited for him. Let's see. Going on to the 7.1.3 bosses. First one up is Red Hulk. So defective defense, buffet, power focus, and foresight. Here I was looking at mainly champions that are going to counter buffet. I don't know why they put foresight in there. Foresight's going to give you a buff that would cause buffet to trigger. So I just kind of went with the good old buff immune champs. Titania, Cassie Lang, Spidey 2099 would work, Red Guardian would work. I think I'm just probably going to run Titania through that and not deal with the buffet at all. It should work fine. Don't see any reason why it wouldn't. And the other thing I tried to do on this while I'm going through is try to come up with champions a lot of people have. In some cases, you're going to see some that people may not have yet. Let's see, Hulkbuster, Hit Me, I Dare You. That's kind of hard when they have a comma in the name. Hit Me, I Dare You, Spiked Armor, Shockingly Brilliant and Dulled. Not going to crit a lot. Gallon's going to work fine. Hulkling's got the nice little shock and all that he puts on you. The armor break, it's going to ramp up Gallon. Hulkling would work just as well. Maybe a little bit more issue with Spiked Armor. The CMM, if she gets the shock buff on her, is going to ramp up very quickly. If you've got an awakened CMM, she's out there 7-star now, or if you have a highly ranked 6-star. And then the last one I kind of came up with there was Hyperion. Would work. Not going to be my favorite. I'm going to try Gallon there. And you'll notice I'm going to say try. There may be a lot of heals involved in some of these fights if they don't work. That's the other thing on all of this. Okay, then we got Vision Arcus. How many fights in total? First path? 35, 34? I think it's 34 and 32. My camera's kind of in the way of this thing. Yeah, 34 and 32, I believe, is the total. So it is a grind. I don't know if I'll do it all in one stream. I am going to stream it. Since I've gone ahead and done the planning, I'm going to stream it tomorrow night. At least part one of part one. And then we'll see where we get to. I am going to boost as I'm going through it. Probably use up my 20s. I don't think I'm going to use the 30s, which I use for Alliance War. But I'm planning on boosting. And, as we need revives, we need revives. Probably won't use many heals. I'll just revive it up. I've got several revives kind of in overflow. Let me see what I've got. And I am running the... There we go. I can kind of hide the spreadsheet for a second. That's where I'm at on revives. So that is plus 20 of the 40% revives, plus 7, in addition to what you naturally get. And, some team revives, which aren't really going to come into play at all. I may use 1 or 2 of them, but I'm in good shape on revives, I think, for now. Yes, Faust, I spent some time. Honestly, don't think this will be horrible. I hope it's easier than CCP challenges. It's just going to be long. This one is more about the planning and kind of a marathon versus a sprint. I want that Deathless Vision piece as quick as I can get it. I'm looking forward to him. I love Vision. Oops. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Last fight up of the 7.1.3 bosses is Arcus, Special Burst Lockdown, Power Shield, Power Reversal, Fissure. You're going to want to control power on Arcus. So anybody that can power drain, remove his power gain buff, things like that. White Tiger is going to be my choice, I think. May end up going with Destroyer or Doom. I've got Doom planned for later. Don't have Destroyer planned for anything yet. Sork Supreme would work. If you're not going to use Gallon here, Gallon would work against him. Or not Gallon, Absman, sorry. If you don't have Absman assigned to a fight, he would work there because of the power... The armor break. There we go. We'll get it out. There's a lot of thoughts going in my head right at the moment. So, Absman would be another good one. Typical counters there to Arcus, I think, will work fine. Yeah, it's just going to be revives. I mean, if you bring a wrong champ, you're done. You can't revive through some of the fights if you bring a wrong champ. Like There are some that are crit me with your best shot. If you take in crossbones to that, you might as well start over. There's no way you're going to get it down. You can't revive enough. He's not ever going to crit, so he's never going to do any damage. And, you know, that's the main thing. And you don't want to get yourself stuck where you're having to really use a sub-prime counter and, you know, having to use 20, 30 revives to get through it. Moving on to 714. First boss up is Hela, Rust and Ruin, Lazarus, which is a pain in the butt to deal with, Heavy Assault, which I do like, Counter Strike, Enhanced Fury. I've got Destroyer here as my champion of choice. The other ones, Doom, Dragon Man, Absman. Nothing really in this fight other than I think Lazarus is probably going to be the biggest one, and maybe Rust and Ruin if you bring in the wrong champion for that. Shouldn't be too terrible there. Juggernaut, Caustic Temper, Rising Sun, Juke, Unblockable Specials. Get comfortable dexing his special 1. If you can push him to a special 2, that is much easier. You know, the main thing here is you need a poison immune that gains Furies. So, you know, I went Hyperion here, even though it is class disadvantage. Shouldn't really be that much of an issue. I had thought maybe Hulk, but I'm not sure because they've now changed Hulk to where his Furies are passives. I don't think they will count for it. So I want to test that out before I say for sure. If that's the case, he will not work there, and then I would go with one of the first 3. You know, like I said, I'm planning Hyperion for there. I think he will be just fine. No real big reason he wouldn't work other than class disadvantage. All right, then we have Weapon X with Poison Vulnerability, Enhanced Bleed, and Aggressive. Now, the champ I'm going to be using for it, and all the champs I've got on here, really don't take advantage of the Poison Vulnerability. But Lady Deathstrike pretty much shuts. That's what I thought, so I'm going to take Hulk off of here. I'll come up with a 4th one for there. We can work on that here in a second. So, you know, Lady Deathstrike pretty much shuts down Weapon X. You know, there's nothing, pretty much turns off everything in his kit. He can't go unstoppable. He can't go unblockable. He can't, you know, heal. She should work just fine, even without the poison vulnerability. Nimrod, same thing. Omega Sentinel is going to shut down his healing capability. Same with Warlock. I just like Lady Deathstrike because then you don't have to worry about when he gets into his Berserk mode, you don't have to worry about him going unblockable. All right, so let's go back to this one. Let's think of another counter here for our lovely Weapon X with, you know, or not Weapon X, Juggernaut, Caustic Temper. So Poison Immune with a Fury buff. I am going to jump into the Anticus May. Okay, go away. Ant May here. And on this profile, I have not been there before. Let me turn that dark. There we go. Much better there. I wish there was a poison. I wish Aunt May had filters for poison immune. Let's just kind of go through. Angela might work if she's Sig 200. I've got her for another fight, so I think that's it on the first line. Can't bring synergy, so, you know, no one really there. Crossbones, maybe. He's going to get Furies. He can shrug the poisons. I don't know if I would do that, but that's a possibility. Okay, no one else there. And he's not poison immune. For some reason I was thinking he was, but he is not, so he will not work. The Groots may work. Wouldn't be my ideal. You'd have to kind of play around when you were in, after your fury buffs are gone, making sure you don't have a poison. The Hulks won't work. Hulkling would work, but you're only going to be able to do damage every so often because you're not going to be able to keep furies up. Yeah, there are not many. I'm thinking maybe the Groots might work. It would be a tricky fight, but they might work. Maestro, he gets a Fury. Poison immune? No, so... Medusa I've already got. Nova not poison immune. Hey, 1-2, how's it going? Oh yeah, Hulkling would work with level 2s. It would just be a slower fight. That's the only time you're going to be able to do damage is when you're throwing a level 2. I was trying to find somebody that may have more ready access to Furies. She-Hulk. Nope, it's passive. Never mind. Shows how much I play She-Hulk. And she doesn't gain a Fury, so... Yeah, it may have to be Hulkling as that fourth option. None of the Spideys. Yep, I'm not seeing anybody else that I can think of that would be poison immune and gets Furies. So I'm going to put Hulkling down there as that other option. Hulk used to be great for it. Venom not poison immune. So Angela would work. She'd be able to shrug off the poisons, but that would be another option. Yeah, so let's see. No, I don't want to use She-Hulk Warlock when he gets Furies from Synergy. Yeah, that's that's why you kind of have to plan. You see, that would be a fight that you could very easily get blocked on if you bring the wrong champion in. So, like I said, I'm going to go with Hyperion. Easy access to Furies. Will it be painful because it's class disadvantage? Probably. But I think he's going to do just as good as anybody else. Went through Weapon X. Electro Luke. So some of the newer champions, the ones that they created for the last couple sections of Act 7-1. Electro Luke, the combination of Electro and Luke Cage. Luke Cage's body, Electro's abilities. So Arrogance, Combo Party, Critical Setup, Power Build Up, 3, Power Overflow. I'm probably going to go in with Falcon, get my lock on activated, and just shut them off. To me, probably the best option there. You could use Black Cat, kind of the same thing. She's going to shut off. I don't have a 7-star hype either. I'm going to have to use my 6-star rank 4. I can, Jordan. I'll work on that later. Now, keep in mind, Kurt, you can use the 7-star and the 6-star versions. So you could go in with a 7-star Domino, and then the next fight use a 6-star Domino. They are different champions as far as this is concerned. So, you don't have to have a deep 7-star. You can get by with 6 stars and just boost. They give us plenty of 20% boost. Use them. So for this one, like I said, Falcon, Black Cat, Namor would work great. He's going to reflect all the shock damage and all that back. Here would be an option for Crossbones as well. Being able to kind of turn off the nodes and just kind of fight. That's kind of my thought there. Anybody that can handle Electro is going to be a good counter. Punishing Angel, the combination of Punisher and Archangel. Punisher specials, Archangel's Look, and ability. So Mercy, Mighty Charge, just not going to be able to stun easily. I'm forgetting Serpent gains Furies after his ramp. Yeah, you can use that. I did not have him in on it, so that would work. He's not going to be poison immune. And that's the other side of that one, so he wouldn't work for Juggernaut, but anytime you need Furies. For Punishing Angel, I've got Sunspot, Toad, Bishop, Storm. Looking for champions that just have some damage over time, some bigger specials, things like that. Yeah, but Serpent isn't poison immune. Moving forward, then we would have Night Carnage. So Nightcrawler and Carnage. I'm going jumping right into the hardest mode possible. I'll do normal mode for 100% later. Normal mode is just going to get you the 100% complete banner, kind of like they did with what quest was that? Because I haven't completed it yet. Not back issues. Wrong spot. Special quests. The Eternity of Pain Acceptance. So you can get all the rewards by doing the hard mode. You only get the 100% by doing the normal mode. And normal mode's broken up into 4 paths, I believe. I think is what they said. I didn't pay any attention to normal mode. So this one, Energy Adoption Lightning, Poison Vulnerability, Mutual Spectre, Power Build-Up, Power Overflow. Here I'm wanting Poison Champs to take advantage of that Poison vulnerability. Immortal Abomination, Diablo, Arcade, who would be very good for this, believe it or not. And Onslaught, while he doesn't have access to Poison, would just be good for handling the node. Yeah, it's going to be permanent though, Kurd. So I think that's why they did it. It gives the Cav and Paragon something, but this is going to be permanent end game content. It gives them something to look forward to, and they don't want players that haven't finished Act 7 going in and doing it. As a Valiant player, sometimes I feel bad in a way, but my free-to-play one is Paragon, and I've been able to do most things. I can't do Eternity of Pain, all the fights. I can do some of them. I just pick and choose. I understand it's supposed to be endgame content. And a lot of those fights I don't want to do a second time. At all. All right. Last section of 7.1, Spider Witch, which is, I think, Spider, Gwen, and Scarlet Witch. Backblast, Staggering Beauty, Special Chaos Inversion, my favorite. Power Build-Up, Power Overflow. I am going in with Sinister, primarily because, and I don't know, I was going to look this up earlier, I think that is actually, is that default? Oh, yes, it does. So, renders him immune to taunt and reverse control. So you don't have to worry about Special Chaos Inversion, and should be able to handle the rest of the nodes in there just fine. You can, if you get a debuff on you, you can throw it right off, get a degen put on her, kind of helps speed up the fight a little bit. You just have to be careful with that. Then you've got Rolk, She-Hulk, Sunspot, champs that can kind of handle the node. Just kind of have to, handle the Special Chaos Inversion. You do not get, the Vision piece is just for hard mode. Moving forward to Ice Phoenix, Cold Fusion, Encroaching Stun. So you'll have, this would be a good opportunity to bring in Herc. Power Access, you'd have to handle the Cold Fusion, but it's Herc. Power Access, Power Build-Up, Power Overflow. Probably going to go, here you do want a Cold Snap Immune or Hercules that, you can just kind of blast through the fight really quick. I'm going with Warlock. It's going to keep the power under control. OG Iron Man would work. Serpent, Captain Marvel movie, all ones that would work for it. Yep, that's the thing. Yeah, and you have to have it completed by September something. I can't remember what the date is to get the Vision piece. I think it's like September 5th or something like that. Oh, really? I did not realize that, Faust. Thank you. So there you go, Jordan. You can go jump in on normal. Last fight up in the 7.1 section. Granted, now keep in mind this is all still one. This is all still one quest. So you're on fight number 18. High energy diet. You do not want anybody that does any type of energy damage. Selective time stream, indomitable, power buildup, power overflow. I'm going Ronin and hoping that I can stun lock. Other options: Warlock, AA, Guillotine 2099. You can power drain. If I remember correctly, I used Ronin when I did the quest. I thought I had all my 7.1 and 7.2 quests. Can't find the spreadsheet with them. I do have all my 7.3 and 7.4 who I used for those in another sheet. So I've got all of those ready to go. This drops tomorrow, Jordan, on the 7th, which is kind of why I'm going through it tonight and really just trying to reiterate what they've said. They said it on the live stream. Karate Mike has said it like 10 billion times for Loki chat. Not quite that many. I'm exaggerating a little bit. They've said it in the CCP. Really try to drive it home that you need to plan. Plan. That is the hardest part of this one. Because it's unlike anything they've ever done. You typically can get by with a lot of things, or you're restarting one or two fights. This would suck to get down, to Immortal Abomination, and just bring in somebody that can't get the fight down, after 29 fights and having to start over. Hard mode is for us endgamer tryhards that get a 2 to 3 gem. Yep, and a Titan crystal. Cool. Yep. I'm going to be in there. I'll be frustrated after the first 3 or 4 fights and 10,000 revives, but that's what Unit Man's for. That's why I farm him every single week. This one, the other hard part about it is the selective time stream. This is kind of where I'm a little worried about Ronin, because they can heal up if they don't have. Let me actually go in and look because I cannot remember I think it's a shock that she needs, but then again, you don't want to have that on there because of the high energy diet. So you kind of need somebody that can, heal block your way through it. Oops, wrong chapter. We're on 7.1.6. Let's go to preview, and I'll bring that up on the screen. So bosses are all gathered up here. Which one am I looking at? I need Gwen Perion. There she is. So high energy diet, select time stream every 20 seconds. Defender's health is instantly restored to full. And any debuffs on them are removed. This cannot be prevented with ability accuracy. Incinerate and shock prevent it. So I'm not sure, now that I think about it, I'm not sure how Ronin will work. He's going to get, Gwenperion is going to have a ton of prowess buffs. I think that's the only way to do it, is just kind of blast through it, but it's going to restore any debuffs. It's making me think now. So this is another one you could get roadblocked on, just from them healing. Well, not really roadblock. You could quit out every 19 seconds. Do as much damage as you can and quit out. May have to relook at that one. I'm going to highlight that one for myself. Isn't there a highlighter in here somewhere? I don't want to change the whole cell color. I like Excel better. I've got a highlighter in Excel. Well, let me just change the cell color then for now. Hey, game nerd. Hey. And I didn't say hi to my son. Howdy, Garion. It's going well. Just kind of going down through and doing a little bit of planning. So that one I've got to look at a little bit more. That one I may want to bring a heal block champ for. Gwen Perion, I believe, if she has shock or incinerate, she can't. Yeah, that is correct. But the other thing she's got on there, and what will hurt, is the selective time stream. Or the high energy diet, I'm sorry. The defender has 99% energy resistance, and any hit that deals energy damage regenerates them for the damage, for what the damage would have been. So yeah, you've got a heal block, and then it's going to be slow, because if you're doing energy damage, i.e. shocks, and I think any hit when they have a shock on, it's just going to be slow. I'm going to go back and look and see. Actually, I can do that right now. Let's do this. See if there's any videos out there of this. Apparently you can cheese it.
Welcome back to the grind. In this video, we're going to take a look at...
I'm going to mute it. Let me go ahead and share Chrome again so you can see it. And I love some of the ads I get. Do not want to find a soulmate from the Philippines. I'm sorry. The rest are all, at least MCOC based. Okay, so yeah, I guess it's just a matter of building up until you can do enough damage. Now you should start really cranking up some damage here. With that number of buffs, that special one, I guess you don't throw special ones because they do energy damage. Let's see if I can block that one. I don't ever run... There we go. Don't ever run YouTube under my main, gaming account. Now you're starting to do, now you can see how he can work. So a couple special threes, heavy attacks. Don't think that's going to get her down. You're not getting good crit luck. And you can see there, if you don't get her down in 20 seconds, it's going to heal her up. Magneto, that might not be a bad call. Because Gwenpool is metal. And she doesn't have a special 3. I may change my mind there. Yeah, I'm sure you could do it with a bigger one, and mine's a rank 4 6-star. But this may be easier. And I don't think I've got Magneto anywhere. Yeah, I think I'm going to change that. Let me see if I've got Magneto anywhere. I do not. So I'm going to do Magneto and then move Ronan down to here, Warlock down to here, A down to there, because I really didn't like Guillotine 2099. And we are going to undo the... Oops, we want to change this too. Let's undo the... Do this. Format Painter. That. And there we are. We are back to what we should be. Perfect. Okay. So that one is now no longer one, but that would be one that will roadblock you. So I will change the color on that. I'll figure out a way to do it. I may change the font color, may put in another column, something like that. I would assume probably, let's see, what are they on here? They're 150, 500. I would expect 500 attack, probably 800 health. Something like that. You know, we can look at what they are in 8.1. Let me turn this off and you can see what I'm looking at in game. So if we go and look at 8.4 and just see what they were in there, I would expect them to probably be a little bit higher than this. So these are 175, 1200. So maybe 300 on attack or 200 on attack and 1300, 1400, something like that. Health. No, Jordan, I think it's a good idea. So, yeah. It'll help me and kind of keep me honest as well. And draw attention to those ones that people just can't kind of blast through. All right, so I'm going to keep going on this. This is grinding a little long. So let's finish off 7.1 and 7.2. So the first path here. Next fight up is going to be the 7.2.1 bosses. Mole Man, Fight or Flight. So we're going to evade, bleed vulnerability. Foresight, immune to incinerate, no hit mercy buffs. Here, APOC. You know, Sauron would work, Danny would work, Nightcrawler would work. I'm going APOC. You know, the Fight or Flight, he's only going to evade so many times before he can't evade anymore. So I think that will probably be my go-to there. Then we've got Magneto, the red version, Moth to the Flame, power build up 3, spite, aggressive, unblockable specials. Be good at dexing his special too. Most of them you can probably blast through. Yep, there's going to be a few. So for mags here, I'm going to go in with Shuri, a nice skill champ that, you know, is going to be able to parry him and handle most everything on there. You know, her shock debuffs are going to work. You can go Mr. Fantastic, you can go Miles, you can go Spider-Gwen, you know, to keep the, you know, some of the stuff under control with, you know, spite and things like that. You know, Shuri's also good because she doesn't get very many buffs. You know, her buff is a passive when she gets it, and she doesn't get one for dexing. So, going to keep kind of the spite under control. MODOK, Stampede, Defective Defense, Spectre of Ailment. I can't remember what that is right off the top of my head. Aggressive, immune to shock. I'm going Mole Man. One of my favorite counters for MODOK, but you can do Killmonger, Shang-Chi, Atuma. All 3 of those would work. Or all 4 of those would work. Here is where I've got Hulkling, is for this Guardian, which has Power Shield, Aggression Armor, Do Not Disturb, Heavy-Handed Tree Strike. So Hulkling Special 2 spam, you know, and then wait out guard, or, you know, you're going to be, if you do it right, you'll be unblockable, so you don't have to worry about Guardian's auto block. You could also do Serpent, unblockable specials, does more damage with the more armor that he's got, would work very well. Gladiator will work, we'll keep removing the armor. Corvus, same thing. Only fear with Corvus is I don't know if he'd be able to, in one rotation, take him down. Rank 3 might be able to. It really depends on how much health they've got. Magneto, House of X, so White Magneto, as he's more commonly referred to, has While the Iron is Hot, Special Connoisseur, Power Build-Up, and Unblockable Specials. get ready to dex his special 1 a lot if you can. Nimrod, going to work. Omega Sentinel would work. Red Skull would work. Yondu would work. You know, you want skill champions there. Gladiator would work for Guardian. I think I have him on there. Let me double check. So Guardian is, come on, spreadsheet. There we go. Yeah, I've got Gladiator on there for you. Hey, typo. Let's get rid of Overseer, comma. So yeah, you know, on there, the hardest thing is going to be the unblockable specials, most likely. You know, I think Nimrod will handle them fairly well and should be a fairly quick fight. Yeah, you know, a couple others in there that could work in your favor as well. Tigra, going to be a pain in the butt. Wombo combo, staggering beauty, prey on the weak, heavy assault. I'm going with Cap IW just because of the heavy assault. His heavy's hit pretty hard, should shorten the fight down. He's pretty tanky, but you could use Silk, get the auto evade on the specials, Overseer or Red Guardian with some big heavies as well. And you know, with Silk, you're doing the 4 hits into a heavy almost every combo, so you know, would do some pretty good damage. I may switch that around too. You know, those are 2 that I'm kind of flopping back and forth. My Silk is higher ranked at rank 5 and Ascended. My Cap IW is either I've got a 7-1 unawakened, or no, sorry, my 7-star is awakened now. Doesn't really matter for a single fight, or my rank 4 6-star. May end up going Silk there because I don't think I've got her anywhere else. Venom the Duck. Biggest thing here is crit me with your best shot. This is one of the ones I'm talking about. If you bring in a non-crit champion, you're going to do no damage. So Shang-Chi, Mole Man, Hit Monkey, Bullseye, all 4 of them do lots of crits. You know, it would be nice if they had put it on a science champion, but no reason you can't do it on a cosmic. One of my least favorite nodes of the group, you've got Hit Monkey with Life Cycle, Heavy Assault, and Immune to Shock. Here, I'm just going with a champion that I can get consistent parries with, some debuffs going, things like that. So I'll go with Bishop here. Storm, either one would work. Professor X, Emma Frost. You know, champions that have a decent heavy attack in there. Then Punisher 2099, Surge Protector, Power Struggle. Here I'm going with Kushala, just because she can take a lot of block damage from specials. His specials are going to be a pain in the butt to deal with. You can go Magneto if you haven't used him before. I did this. I had most of this from other spreadsheets, so it didn't take me as long as it could have. But, you know, if I jump over to my main, let me do this in another Google window here if I can. I will show you something I do for all of them, or used to do. I got away from doing it, and I wish I'd done it for some of the acts. But I have, let's see if I can bring it to this window, if it'll let me. Come on. Oh, I can't. Now let me get the link and share it with myself. And I'll put it in up here. So I've got sheets like this. Who I use, you know, what the path fight was, who I used each time, you know, each path and all that. And I've got some that have my planning. These are my actual ones for the champs that I used and how many items it took. Then I have my actual planning ones which have the nodes written out on them. So there's a couple of them out there. I know of at least 2 other ones that have very similar. A couple of them with a lot more detail than I've got. So this one, going to go in with Kushala. You know, Sork Supreme would work. Iron Man might work. You know, get all the armor ups. You know, be fairly tanky. Then we go Nova, Burnout, Time to Strike, Supercharge, Fury, Aggressive. Here, you just want somebody that can handle Nova. I'm going Magic, so I'm going to bring in a 5-star. I don't want him throwing any specials. Magic should work just fine. White Tiger would do the same thing. Doom would probably work. Dormammu. Keep him from throwing specials as much as possible. Taking all that, he's going to get to a special 2 fairly regular if you don't. So, to me, just having Magic, he's going to be aggressive, so you're going to be able to do backdraft intercepts fairly easy, keep him locked down in the corner, and just constantly throwing special 2s. Getting closer to the end, we've got a Mortal Abomination, Meltdown, Hurt Locker, Kinetic Transference, Enhanced Special, and Power Removal. Kingpin, baby. Kingpin will build up nicely. If you haven't used Hype would work. Chioth will work. Jabari would work. I just think Kingpin, it's going to be tricky because Kingpin won't remove every time I get poisoned. So there's going to be some playing around with that. But that's who I decided I'm going to try, and, might as well go with it. Last few. Man Thing, High Energy Diet. Once again, don't want to do energy damage. Power Shield, specials are going to hit like crazy. Flare, you're just going to be ramped up completely. Power Reversal, unblockable specials. You don't want him throwing too many of them. You've got Hulk. You can do Thing. You can do Sandman. You can do Mr. Negative. Hulk, I'm going with him. His specials, and then you can do a power, the stun lock on a special one. I think you can kind of rinse through that fight pretty quick. Void, one of my least favorite. Setup and Spike, Safeguard. So you're going to want somebody that's got some damage over time that will work on Void. Force of Will on there as well. I kind of came up with the standard set of not necessarily just Bleed. I don't know why I have Titania in there. I probably have to pull her out. But I know the setup and Spike is if you don't have enough debuffs on there, I can't remember if it's a heal or you take a chunk of damage back. I think it's you take a chunk of damage back if there's not enough debuffs on there. So, yeah, I'm thinking she's going to shrug off almost every one of Void's debuffs, and you're just going to be able to go in there and just stack, bleed debuffs after bleed debuff after bleed debuff on there. Plat Pool, Smorgasbord, draw 5 cards, Juke. Main thing here is you need to know what Plat Pool's cards do, or just kind of bring in somebody that can nuke it down, which I'm going with Black Widow, Deadly Origin. Class disadvantage, but would work. Silk, Titania, Sandman. That's the one, the Smorgasbord, that's the one you want all the debuffs on. Let me go pull that up and make sure. Some of these I can't remember. I wrote them down so long ago. 725. One of them I know if you don't have enough debuffs on them, you take a big chunk of damage back. Maybe Plat Pool here. Yeah, the Smorgasbord is the defender has a 100% chance to purify all incoming debuffs. And you have to have 10 snack charges on, or they regen 25% of their health. And you get a degen passive on you. So that's the one. The setup and Spike is whenever the defender is knocked down, they remove all the active debuffs. If more than 6 debuffs are removed, they take 500% of the attacker's attack as direct damage. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. I think Chioth will work. You're just going to have to be careful not to knock her down if you don't have 6 bleeds on. That one's, and that's kind of why I had Onslaught Titania on there. I don't know if Onslaught will work if the passive ones count, but Titania would work for sure. That's another one you can get stuck on if you don't have a champ that does enough. You could do a bunch of damage, but you're going to have to really worry about the degen damage if you don't. If you don't have 60 buffs when you knock them down, it does 50% of the defender's attack. And the Void's attack on this node is... doesn't tell me. Well, and we won't know. It's 12,798 on, the path in 7.2. And then the last one of the 6.5, Dragon Man, Stunning Reflection and Power Immunity Extend. That's a torch fight. Don't stun them. Let them hit in your block. Build up your Incinerates. You know, Ironheart would work, Elsa would work, Sunspot. I'm just going in with Torch. I really didn't think real heavily beyond that. There's a lot of champions that could work, but I'm just going Torch. Plain and simple. Nothing in there that will stop it. You know, just go Flame on. I don't think they're going to be that high, Faust. I'm thinking 600,000 to 700,000. And then last but not least, Gwynmaster. Here would be a good spot for Herc if you wanted to use Herc. I'm going to go in with Doom. You could use Juggernaut, Colossus, Professor X. There's a ton of different ones you can go out there for Gwynmaster. I don't remember the fight exactly, but I remember using Doom and doing okay with it. And that gets us through 7-1 and 7-2 in only a short little hour. Holy moly. You know what? I never looked at the results of the poll. It was 100% earlier. There we go. So 15 votes, 87%. So let me check chats here. I haven't checked on the short stream. Hey, guys. Sorry, Mike. I'm over on the other one. Weedman, same thing. You know, follow the link to the big stream. I'll go ahead and answer the questions. Let's see. How easy is normal compared to Legacy? No clue. We'll find out tomorrow. Weedman, Electro, Luke, Falcon. Yes, definitely. How will this work? Do we swap a champ for each? Yes. There will be a champion choice node in between each one, and you will swap. You have to swap as well. You can't continue on with the champion. You have to swap, and it has to be a unique champion. Can still be the same champion, different star level, but different champ. And Mike, same bosses on normal is hard. Normal is broken into, I think, 4 paths. It's either 4 or 6, where it's just 2 on hard mode. Sorry, I have not been reading that chat. It's hard for me to kind of bounce around to 2 different chats and keep a spreadsheet up and do other things. All right, 7-3 and 7-4. A few less bosses here. Red Goblin, Burnout, Unlimited Power, Time to Strike. We are definitely going to use Ronin here, but you could use Rintra, keep buffs off of him completely. Mordo, you use Soul Barb and make him do damage to himself. Could use Kushala, could use Magic. You know, I'm going to go with the cheese option and use Mr. Ronin. Should work just fine there. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up in game just to make absolutely sure I remember everything on that correctly, because I have not gone back in and looked at some of these nodes. Like I said, I just had the nodes written down. If I can find the boss in this stupid chapter. Where are the bosses? There they are. So Red Goblin, the Burnout, whenever the defender activates specially, gain a Burnout charge, unlimited power. Time to Strike, whenever the defender would gain power or health while under the effects of a heal block or power lock, they gain an... I'll have to check that one out. I thought there was a lot more buffs involved in that fight. Ah, there it is. For each debuff the defender has suffered since the start of the fight, every 10 seconds, they activate a permanent Fury buff, increasing their attack. If these Fury buffs are nullified or removed in any way, the defender gains 15% of their max power. So, yeah, you'll be able to get Fury buffs. You may just have to fight a little slow at the beginning, but eventually you'll get 6 or 7, you know, and go through there. Ultron, Armored Assault, boost buff, armor up, Mystic Ward, Transducer. I'm going to go Null, just to remove those armors. You could go Medusa, you could go CGR, you could go Angela. You know, I needed a unique champ there, and I'm using the other ones later on. So there's that one. You could use King Groot. You could use Deathless King Groot. Taskmaster, crit me with your best shot. Another one where you have to have a crit champion. True Strike, Bob and Weave, Unblockable Specials, and Aggressive. Get used to dexing Taskmaster Special 1. It's not that hard. Domino, Bullseye, Danny Moonstar, Stark Spidey. You want champions that crit and crit fairly regular. Immortal Hulk, Do Not Go Gentle. Ebb and Flow, Heavy. So you're going to have to knock them down with a heavy, high energy diet. Don't want energy based attacks. Aggressive. Mole Man, you know, easy access to heavy attacks. You could do Shang-Chi. You're going to get that after a 5-hit combo. Cheoth would work. She's got the long, heavy range to counter, heavy attacks, and I don't know if you could counter the special one. You'd have to really get the timing down on that and the spacing. Doable. And then Black Cat. I think those would probably be the ones to go to. Black Cat may work better than Mole Man if you have a high ranked Black Cat. Next up on here, Cosmic Ghost Rider, steady build up unblockable, special burst lockdown. Hey, the other black man. Rise to power, power bond, and energize. It's a cosmic champion, lots of buffs. Chavez. Chavez is going to do some pretty good things there. You're going to be able to go through, reverse the power gain, keep the power down, do a lot of damage. You could, on the same hand, use Doom. Once again, power drain, stun lock, etc. Kingpin, probably not the greatest, but would work. Luke Cage might work there as well. Okay, Old Man Logan, Lazarus, another typo. Lazarus, Arrogance, Lionheart, Bubble Shield, Return Policy. Lazarus is not going to be your friend, so you're just going to have to do some heavies and knock them down, keep the fury, from building up. There's possibilities you could do like CMM, you could do Herc. They're going to have some of the buffs on them, from what I understand. And that may not show up on here. They will have some of the links on there, I believe. Not sure which one, but I know Mike said earlier he's the only one that I know that has kind of looked at it. And he's only allowed to look at the fights. He wasn't allowed to actually run it. But I think he said that they did have some of the links on them. Let's see. So we've got, and the only reason he was able to look at him is because he had to do a video on it. So there, Warlock, Lady Deathstrike would work. Punisher 2099, going to stop healing. Penny Parker would stop healing. Lots of things there that you can do to kind of stop the healing. Spider Ham, as we get down to there. Yeah, I believe, and that's the one I think he said had juiced on it. I'm trying to find it now. I thought he said it in line chat. I know I read it somewhere. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, pretty sure the link nodes are there, so Gwenmaster should have juiced. So that's about as much information as I can give you there. So Spidey Ham, steady build up fury, stung once, twice shy. The best defense, shifting immunity, bleed, poison. I'm going into Falcon just to kind of shut him off, get lock on, turn off the node. You could do Bullseye, you could do Crossbones, you could do Venom. Congrats, Matthew. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy, my friend. So Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, Aggression Fury, Mixmaster. You'll see why I'm using Venom, because of Mixmaster. Be Like Water, Heavy Assault, True Strike. Venom all the way there for me. Not going to evade at all. You could use Gladiator. You could use Kate Bishop. Get the Cold Snap on there. Don't have to deal with Killmonger. Get True Strike. Don't have to deal with it. I'm just going to go Venom there. Stealth, Spidey, no-hit Mercy, evasive maneuvers. I'm going to have to worry some about his evade there. Foresight, tenacity. I'm choosing to bring somebody that overcomes tenacity, which is going to be my friend Bishop. You could use Venom there as well. Danny Moonstar or APOC would be other good ones. Moving forward, Doctor Strange, ionized armor. So you're going to want somebody who can remove armor or do other things. Ironclad, heavy-handed, special chaos inversion, So you're going to have to kind of get used to being reverse controls on specials, Prey on the Weak. I'm going in with Titania. You could do Luke Cage, you could do Cassie Lang, you could do Black Widow Clairvoyant, and because they don't gain buffs. So, that was kind of my thought there. Because one of those nodes I know has something to do with buffs. Which one am I in here? 7, 3, 3. No. Oh, that's 8. No wonder I can't find it. I'm looking at 8.3 and it's like, that's not matching up. 7, 3, 4. Okay, let's look at the bosses here and just make sure I am correct on this. Doctor Strange. Ionized armor. When the defender finishes a special attack, they gain an indefinite armor up buff. Ironclad. When the defender is struck, they deal 20% of damage they took back to the attacker for each armor up buff. Heavy-handed. The defender special attacks. Oh, it's the Prey on the Weak. The defender gains 5% of their max power each time a buff is nullified or expires. So I'm just choosing to go with a champ that's not going to get buffs. The rest I have to deal with. I may go Luke Cage. May go Cassie there. I can change both those out. Let's see, Symbiote Supreme, Ebb and Flow Knockdown. Going to have to knock him down to do damage. Oh, no problem, Faust. The link should be in the chat. I didn't pin it, but it's in the description now as well. Sim Supreme, let's see, Steady Perseverance, Feats of Power, Immunity to Ability, Power, Rate, Alteration. I'm probably going to go Overseer, but I may change this around and go Luke Cage there and Titania here. We'll see. I know Legacy will go with Spot. Spot's another good choice there. Sorcerer Supreme. There's too many Supremes in the game now. Steady build up Unblockable. Spite, so you want champions that don't gain buffs. Staggering Beauty. Unblockable specials. Fairly easy specials to kind of evade anyway. Nothing real complicated in them. Prey on the Weak. Probably going Cassie Lang here. Should be fairly easy. You could go Spidey 2099, Titania, or Red Guardian. Champions, like I said, that don't gain buffs. That way you're not having to deal with Spite and her just throwing back to back to back specials, getting to a special 3 really quick, and ruining your life. And like I said, I may switch some of these around. I may put Luke Cage here and Titania. This was my first run through it, and we may switch. All right, moving forward, this is 7.3.5's bosses. You've got Warlock, Ebb and Flow Heavy. Once again, in 8.3, they loved Ebb and Flow Heavy, among other nodes. Redlining, so you're going to want to throw specials often, and as quick as you hit a special 2, you need to be tossing a special. Specialist 2, Stage Fright, Bubble Shield, which is kind of a pain with Warlock. If you end up blocking a special 2, you're going to take quite a few hits there, and dexing a special 1 can be a pain in the butt. Hulkling turns off a lot of Warlock's kits, so you're not going to get the degen and all that. Gallon would work, Medusa would work. You can shut them completely off and shut most of the node off if you use Medusa. Vox would work as well. Elsa Bloodstone, Persistent Pressure, Buff Synthesis, Fury Precision. So basically if you have both and you stun them, you get a True Strike. If I remember correctly, Evasive Maneuvers and another Tenacity node. I'm going with Toad because if she shrugs off the poison, it becomes a passive that does more damage. Going that way, you could do Bishop, you could do APOC, you could do Sinister. Any of those would work. Biggest thing there to me is you've got the evasive maneuvers. You're going to have to deal with her evading every once in a while, but the tenacity is the bigger one for me. And then Cable. This is cheese with Doom. Surge Protector, Supercharge, Gifted, Vigorous Assault, Aggressive. It's a Doom cycle. That's all you have to do. Get the Doom cycle. Easy fight. Don't use Doom anywhere else. Use them for that fight. Probably the easiest fight that you'll have on the paths. You can Doom cycle it really quick. And then you've got the Kang boss. Yep, that's it. This one, I'm going to try and go in with Deathless King Groot. Serpent, or Hyperion, Serpent, Joe Fixit. There's a couple others that work for him. I'm going to try Deathless King Groot. I like him. Does good damage. Builds up very well. I think that's kind of where I'm going to go. Why not? I can heal up as the fight goes on if I screw up, depending on how much damage he does to me. I don't like the end boss fights in any of these chapters. So, Darkhawk, Special Connoisseur, Buff Synthesis, Fury Precision again. Yeah, I agree, Faust. Subterfuge Block, Immunity to Armor Break, Aggressive. I think I'm going to go in here with Gamora. Just does a ton. You're going to be able to build up the Fury and Precisions very easily. So you're going to get that. You're going to have to deal with Darkhawk when he gets into the armor mode and goes into his kind of invisibility mode, is whatever it is. Angela would be good there because you can bypass the auto block. Vox would be good. Herc would work in there as well. You want champions that you have easy access to get to that Fury and Precision. No, Gamora and Angela probably the top two choices. Ultron Prime, One-Armed Bandit, Make a Stand, the best defense, immunity to armor break, return policy. I'm going in there with Serpent. Wanted to find a spot that I could use him, so we'll try it. I don't mind if he gets armor ups. We'll kind of go with it. Adam Warlock would work. King Groot would work. Odin would work. But I want to try Serpent on at least one of these fights. And then we've got Guillotine 2099, so keep in mind you've got to knock her down. Does have shock vulnerability, so you can already see where this one's going. That one is going to be anybody that could put a shock on. You don't want to do anything else but Black Widow, Deadly Origin, Shuri, probably the two best shock champions in the game. You could do Nebula and lock her down if you wanted to. Pretty much turn off all her abilities, which wouldn't be bad. You've got that ability in there as well. Okay, last several here, and then we're going to wrap up everything for tonight. Darkhawk. Whoops, we did that one. So we're down to Crossbones, Galvanized Foresight, Rust and Ruin, Livewire from my cold, dead hands. The Galvanized Node and Rust and Ruin. Let's go into those. That's what? 7, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 4, 2. Preview. For those that need to know what those nodes are, we've got Crossbones. The galvanizes every 15 seconds. The defender alternates between charge up and overcharge. While in charge up, hitting into the defender's block inflicts a shock debuff on the attacker. While in overcharge, so it's from the one Winter of Woe fight that was Nebula. It's that node. Rust and Ruin, when the defender struck, 40% chance to inflict an armor break on the attacker. So a couple different champs you could go there. You could go somebody that punishes armor breaks like Absman. You could do Destroyer. You can do Onslaught. You could do Havoc. Champions that aren't going to be affected by the shock. I will be streaming it tomorrow. Unless something seriously happens. We're also getting a tropical storm here in the next day or two and like 12 inches of rain. So assuming I don't have any issues, which I don't think we will, we'll be fine. And then Sabretooth, the Adrenochrome, which is when the defender activates a special attack, they gain a Fury passive, increasing attack rating by 1,000% for 20 seconds. The Fury starts paused and unpauses after the special attack is finished. For every debuff on the attacker when they activate a special, the Fury's duration is reduced by 4 seconds. So you just want debuffs. So I'm going Lady Deathstrike. Going to turn them off. I'll have a lot of debuffs on them. You could do Warlock, you could do Nimrod, you could do Omega Sentinel. But we're going to shut him off. He's not going to heal. He's going to have a bunch of debuffs on him. So not really going to get those Furies. They're going to expire right away. Yellow Jacket, Combo Party, Encroaching Stun, Flux Dispersal, Heavy Assault, Energize. This is Chieoth. You'll be able to shrug off the stun if it does happen to you. The Heavy Assault, you're going to be able to, her heavy hits pretty hard. It's going to be pretty good there. Kingpin would shrug off the stuns as well. Mole Man would shrug them off. Nick Fury. You got the second life there to fall back on. And then you can't be stunned. So any of those very good options. Then we got Mangog, Staggering Beauty, Unstoppable Force, Fight or Flight, so more evade. Boost buff, Steady Perseverance. I'm going Sandman here. Easy access to that slow. Keep the slow on him, can evade. But you can do Overseer, Titania, or Thing as well. You know, the other part of it is the Unstoppable. You know, it's not going to be too bad. Just have to remember on Mangog 4-hit combos, he's going to go unstoppable at points because of him throwing special ones. You don't necessarily want him always throwing special twos because it will hurt as you take all that chip damage. King Groot, not a tough fight. Apex Predators, tough as nails, power build up, supercharged, special one, reluctance. So less likely to throw special one, more likely to throw others. I'm going in there with Gore. I've got to look at that fight again. I believe that is one you want debuffs on them. Which section am I in here? Mangog and Purgatory. Okay. Let's see. I was looking at King Groot. Every 30 seconds, all buffs on both champions are nullified. The champion with the most buffs nullified this way gains a Fury passive, increasing attack rating by 500%, and an unblockable passive. So Gore will gain his buffs. He'll have usually at least 3 or more up. Hulkling will gain buffs. Longshot Hood, you can take advantage of them having King Groot having buffs. So you could do it that way. I'm going to go in with Gore and try it there. Purgatory, Hubris, power to cower, immunity to shock. Spider-Ham, I think that will be probably one of the best ones. Cassie Lang, Scorpion, Torch, those champions that can do some passive damage in there. Last several here. So we're to a Nihilus. This one I had trouble with deciding who I wanted to use. Odometer, parry vulnerability, immovable object, and boost buff, not buff boost. Wow, I'm getting tired of reading here. So we've got Absman. He's just going to go crazy with all the armor breaks, just kind of like he does in the Gladiator circuit now in Battlegrounds. Sim Supreme would work. It's going to be easy parry. He's going to nullify the rod every time he gets it. Sork Supreme, you can nullify. Valkyrie, you don't have to worry about the unstoppable. You can just keep hitting into his block. Then we got Mojo, Oscillate, No Surrender, Subterfuge Block, Bubble Shield. This is just going to be a Hulk fight to me. You could do Titania, Red Guardian, Spider-Ham. Lots of different counters there. I'm going Hulk just for a nuke and stun lock. Super Scroll, Bullet Time, that's a pain in the butt node. Steady Perseverance, Feats of Power, Stun Vulnerability. Going in with Kushala. When you look at it, it just, I think, is going to work well. Let me go ahead and bring that one up just to refresh myself on exactly what Bullet Time is. That is there. And let's find the boss. I know you can't see it, but I am changing the screens in the background so I can read the nodes. And we are Super Scroll. Bullet Time, anytime the defender is stunned, they immediately remove the stun and gain an evade charge, which grants a 100% chance to evade. Each time a hit is evaded, one evade charge is removed. The attacker avoids a basic attack while using a dexterity mastery. Evade charges are removed, and the defender is passively stunned. No, I've broken them out by the actual quest that they were in. So these 3 are together in one quest in case somebody wanted to go and look them up and get more details on what the actual node was. If they don't remember what Bullet Time was, like I didn't, they can go to 744, which is where those bosses are, and look it up. Just trying to group them to make it easier for people kind of looking at them. The blue and yellow really don't do anything other than to keep them separated visually. All right, last 4. We've got Killmonger, Extinction Protocol, Power Shield, No Hit Mercy, Enhanced Parry, Armor Break, Redoubled Determination. I'm going with NTW. The Redoubled Determination is going to be okay because they're passive. You're not going to have to take the not thorns, not recoil. Whatever his armor damage is, and I can't think right at the moment. I've gone through too much. You're not going to have to worry about that. With NTW, you could use Colossus if you wanted to. Omega Red would be very good. Rogue. So you can't really, go wrong with any of those. Mr. Negative, once again, just probably have to take hits in the block. But you can do playing favorites. Energy Adoption Fire, Special Burst Lockdown, Picture of Health. Had to put one fight in here for Mr. Karate Mike. That's going to be Zemo. You could run Jabari if you wanted to, if you're good with Jabari, Chioth, Black Panther. Those would all work. But I've got Zemo as a Ascended 6-star. Might as well use him somewhere other than the Zemo Challenge. Reverb. Thank you, Bama. I knew it began with an R and it just wasn't coming to me with everything else I've kind of read through tonight. And then we've got Namor, Crisis of Opportunity. That's not spelled right, is it? I'm pretty sure I spelled that wrong. That looks better. There you go. Biohazard, powerful from afar and aggressive. This one, I couldn't think of anybody better. You've got Biohazard on there. Nimrod's going to shut him down. You could do Sauron, hit him when he's in poison. Would he work? No, because Biohazard's going to be the bleed. So I may have to change that one. Destroyer would work. Gambit might. Gambit's got the bleed resistance. Not immunity, but resistant. So there would be options there. And then Superior Kang, I'm going to use somebody completely different that I know I didn't use before, but I'm going in with Vox. We're going to try him. Deathless King Groot, Venom, Angela, Ultron, Human Torch, lots of different counters out there, lots of videos on that fight. So there we go. I may have to change that Sauron. I'll have to go back and look at that one. But that gets us through all, however many bosses that is, 32, 34, 66 bosses. Whew. There you go. Link is in the description of the stream. The spreadsheet is out there. Feel free to go look at it. Make sure I would do something as far as planning goes. Whether you do it as in-depth as this and giving yourself 4 options and kind of working through it, whether you take my champions and my options and can use those, you may have better ones in your roster. This was weighted towards those champions that I know that I had ranked up already, and I wasn't going to have to do any rank ups for it. All right. That's all of that. And that was a lot. So, what questions you got for me? Okay, there we go. Sauron is resistant. See, I don't remember all of them. Appreciate that. Whew. I'm more worn out than when I play Battlegrounds on stream. Okay. Any questions? Everybody able that wants to, be able to get to that link. Like I said, it's in the chat. I'll go ahead and put it in the chats one more time. I think that's the link. Oops, that's the wrong link. Let me unsend that one. That's the link to my 7.3 planning sheet. We'll put that link. Oh, really? I copied one letter of the link. I don't know how I did that. There you go. Feel free. Use it. Let me know you used it. Put it in the comments down below. Hey, use your spreadsheet. Let me know that it was worth all that time. You can share it with your alliance mates. Let me know how they like it. This did take me a few minutes to do it. The planning's done, Lee. I had to kind of just read and go through it. If we had a week to do it, I could break it down a lot further, and we could talk. But feel free to watch it. I just ask if you use the sheet, if you give it to an alliance mate, share the stream with them as well. Like it, like the stream, do all that kind of fun stuff for me. It does help out. It does let me know that the couple hours I put into doing all this was worth it. And like I said, I don't mind people using it. Feel free to go in there, make a copy of it, do what you want to from there. I don't think you can change the big one. And thank you, Lee. I know you appreciate it. I know you do a lot for the channel, and I'm looking at a way that I can honor you for all the gifteds that you've given away. It's coming soon. It's a special thing. It'll be something that'll go down there at the bottom, special, kind of like the other ones, but just a wee bit different. Other than that, I appreciate that, Game Nerd. I will be here tomorrow night. I will let the KTs, the Nick136, probably Karate Mike, probably a bunch of others will jump in there right at go time, which I think is 2 p.m. Eastern. I've got work, so it will be tomorrow evening before I can do it. So until then, folks, plan, please, please. Do not go in blind. There are some nodes in there that will get you stuck. If you have questions, hit me up in the comments of this video. Be glad to answer any that I can. Other than that, let's see if anybody else is streaming at the moment. Let's see. No, I need to go here. Oops, I can't do it from that one. I don't have any favorites set on my gaming stream. I do not use it for anything. I can do it from here, though. Okay, who is streaming? Jason and Jabari Gaming. Good old J Will. Let's go raid him. Say hi. Enjoy the stream. And we're going to do a slightly different message. If I spelled everything in there correctly, there we go. It is going to be the Sefasi Planning Raid. Jump in there, say hi to J Will for me, and we're going to go call it an evening. Until the next one, folks, everybody have a great night and take care all.